Good, everyone. I'm going to call to order our November 11th area commission meeting. I'm going to start off, turning this over to Joe, Secretary Joe Argero. Roll call.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, okay, Chair White. Here, Secretary Argero is present, and starting with Commissioner Bate. Commissioner Clark. Commissioner Kitchen. Commissioner Kepler.
Present.
Commissioner Bates.
Here.
Commissioner Matini.
Yeah.
Commissioner McKee.
Here.
Commissioner Maddox. Here. Commissioner Amin.
Here.
Commissioner Montana.
Present.
And Commissioner Howard.
Present.
And we have met quorum with 12 of 14. Thank you.
So I have two absent,
Yes, Commissioner Smith and Marcus.
and then isn't Smith up? Is this his third or fourth absent?
This will be his third technical absence, so he will be notified.
Thank you. All right, moving on to call for addition or deletion of any of the agenda items for tonight's.
Do we want to add the Franklin County Safety Action Plan over here?
Yes, under presentation, we do have a second one. Franklin County Safety Action Plan will be presenting tonight. Are there any additional additions, deletion? Seeing none, a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right, agenda passes. All right, moving on to the approval of minutes from October. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, or corrections to the October meeting minutes? Seeing none, I want to make the motion to pass the October meeting minutes. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Our October meeting minutes are approved. Moving on, the crowd is a little light tonight. I don't see some familiar faces, but let's see. Kevin Orr from Envision Hilltop, the updates.
No real updates, only to say for those of you that are watching online, or for those of you that are not familiar with the Envision Hilltop plan, it's a community-based plan that was formed back in 2019, and really started launching about 2020. I encourage you to go to envisionhilltop.com. You can read up about it and see all the different things that we are doing to try and make the Hilltop better. It also has a lot of great information in case you're not familiar with the Hilltop, want to know more about the Hilltop. A lot of great data. It's just a great introduction to the Hilltop itself, and a lot of ideas and goals that we've set. So I encourage you to take a look at it. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions? You can go out there.
I think I have to turn it off.
Bye. Appreciate it. Also, any announcements from commissioners? So, all right, we'll move on to presentation. Do you have the City of Columbus Legal Aid Office here tonight? All right, moving on to the Franklin County Safety Planning Action Planning.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Draco. I'm with the Franklin County Engineers Office. We applied for and were awarded federal funding to do a safety action plan throughout the county. And just to educate you on the roadways that we maintain as Franklin County Engineers Office, we maintain the roadways that are outside of city jurisdiction. So it would be unincorporated areas, within your district that would be our responsibility. So intersections like Hague Avenue and Fisher Road would be one of our intersections outside of city jurisdiction. So we maintain it. So we're only looking at those areas outside of city jurisdiction, but all over the entire county. We're doing a safety action plan to help us prioritize funding and future capital improvements, so we focus funding toward roadways that are more likely to have serious injury or fatal crashes. So here to present is Stephanie Eisenberg with WSP, our consultant, that's working on the safety action plan for us. So I'll turn it over to Stephanie, and then we can answer questions after the presentation.
Thank you, Mike. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you about the Franklin County Action Plan. As Mike said, my name is Stephanie Eisenberg, and I work with WSP USA. I'm working specifically on the outreach and engagement portion of this. Next slide, please. The county received federal funding as part of the Safe Streets and Roads for All program to develop a safety action plan to help reduce the number of fatal and serious injury crashes throughout Franklin County's transportation system. Throughout this presentation, we will describe what exactly a safety action plan is, why we are developing one, what it will be used for, and how area commissions can get involved. Next slide, please. Before we can explain the safety action plan, we want to define it. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, a safety action plan is a strategic roadmap that outlines data-driven strategies and specific actions to reduce roadway fatalities and serious injuries. The goal is to eliminate serious and fatal crashers for all users of county-maintained roadways. To do this, Franklin County Engineer is following US DOT's Safe Streets for All approach. This holistic framework for roadway safety acknowledges human mistakes and vulnerabilities. It aims to eliminate serious and fatal traffic injuries through a layered strategy, incorporating safe road users, vehicles, speeds, roads, and post-crash care, emphasizing proactive safety measures and shared responsibility rather than relying solely on individual user behavior. Next slide, please. Franklin County is developing the action plan because it promotes shared responsibility among all, not just all road users like drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists, but also roadway planners and system operators. We also mentioned that the safe system approach acknowledges human error and focuses on proactive safety measures. Next slide, please. And proactive safety measures are what we need. When we look at the data, which shows a high crash volume from 2020 to 2024, there were nearly 6,000 crashes on Franklin County maintained roadways, a sharp increase of crashes and there was also a sharp increase of crashes in 2024. Of those crashes, 39 were fatal and 184 resulted in serious injuries. And more than 30% of the fatal and serious injury crashes involve people walking, biking, riding motorcycles or ATVs. As part of the safety action plan, Franklin County is identifying its high injury network contained to Franklin County maintained roadways. A high injury network is a map showing specific streets and intersections that over a defined period of time account for a disproportionately high number of crashes that result in death or serious injuries. As you can see on that map, the red marked areas have high fatal or serious injury crashes. The blue areas have a low number and the black areas have 0. This map is also available on our website, which we will push to it in a couple slides. So if it's hard to see right here, that's understandable, but we have an interactive map. So
It's black, right?
there's no blue on the map.
It's just high, so we didn't show the low for everything.
Thank you. There's a pen here, I'm gonna. Next slide, please. So what will this safety action plan be used for? We're identifying 4 keys, and community input is first. We need the community's help to not just identify the areas for improvement, but feedback on how to improve them. The second is the data-driven analysis, which will be outlining the factors that lead to fatal or serious injury crashes. Which then leads to the third key of strategies and policy recommendations to work towards eliminating these crashes in Franklin County. The fourth key is guidance. The plan will outline who is responsible for implementing these policies and strategies. Next slide, please. This action plan began in the fall, and we are currently working through the data analysis, and our community survey is now live. That's how you can get involved. We're looking for people to complete the online survey as well as take part in our interactive map activity. It allows survey takers to pinpoint areas for improvement as well as leave their comments and detailed feedback. We will begin the plan's development in December and plan to present it to the public with open houses in early 2026. The goal is to adopt the final plan in March. Next slide, please. To get involved, please scan this QR code. The community survey is live. Originally, it was going through November, but obviously we're already almost halfway through November, so I believe we're keeping it all the way through December. That will take you directly to the survey page.
Is there a link for anybody that doesn't have a cell phone?
Yep. Next slide, please.
Okay, thanks. This under stay engaged is.
Yep. You can also stay engaged by going to wspengages.com/Franklin SS4A. As well as reach out to project manager Mike Draco, who's here tonight directly, and his contact information is on the screen.
Yeah, I just.
Okay. And thank you so much for your time this evening. Please let us know if you have any questions for us.
I'm just gonna not use it.
Okay.
So thank you so much for presenting tonight. I am going to recommend that the co-chairs, public, economic development and public safety, meet up and discuss who wants to take the lead to stay in contact with, Franklin County, engineers for this. I do have a couple of questions. The first one being, your study indicated that 30% of crashes involve pedestrians. Do you know if 30% of the grant money will be allocated to identifying and improving, walking paths, bike paths? A lot of our community here on the hilltop doesn't have sidewalks, so a lot of pedestrians are walking like up on the curb or in the street. So can you kind of speak to how the money is going to get allocated on like what certain projects, components?
Yeah, sure. So for this step, the money that we've received through the federal grant through Safe Roads and Streets for All was just to do the plan. So it doesn't include any design or construction funding. That said, the plan will identify areas where we're seeing pedestrian and bicycle related crashes, and we will focus improvements that will install in facilities for pedestrians and bikes. We'll also do a gap analysis to make sure that we find those areas that say a sidewalk stops, and then we have a county road section, the sidewalk starts again, there's a clear gap there. We're trying to fix those. We do have a funding source through CODA, their new Link Us initiative from the ballot issue that passed a year ago. And that is allowing us to spend money pretty much throughout Franklin County to improve pedestrian and bikeway safety. So we do have quite a few projects planned. We are planning on a shared use path on Hague Avenue that'll connect Valley View up to Trade View. So that's a big project that we're using that Link Us funding for. So that would be a big project in this area. And we also have a project on Fisher Road from Hague Avenue west over to Wilson, which is our section as well. That was shown red on the map that you saw. And that project is it's a road diet. It'll reduce the lanes from 4 lanes to 3 lanes. So 1 lane in each direction with a center turn lane. And it will put sidewalks on the north side and south side of Fisher Road. So and we did identify that as a high injury corridor, and we received funding because it was a high injury corridor to do that road diet as well as the sidewalk connection. So we are actively looking for areas, and we definitely welcome feedback if there's areas that there are concerns with pedestrian bikes. But unfortunately, the funding that we're getting for this is really just to do the plan and identify where funding should be spent in the future.
Will the plan indicate how much projects could potentially cost? Or is it just an overall need meets.
It's not a feasibility study, so it won't go into, cost estimates, but it will identify what we're calling systemic improvements. So, that's to say that, it takes certain, certain factors into account. Every time we have this situation, we're going to install this countermeasure. And we're going to do that countywide. So it will look at systemic improvements, and those will be able to be, we can request grant funding for future rounds of SS4A funding to pay for those systemic improvements. But no, this project is more just to identify the roadways and the particular hotspots in the county where we should be spending our money.
And then will those key factors kind of dictate which projects are higher up on the priority list?
Yeah.
And then okay,
Yeah, that is the goal, is to prioritize projects based on reducing serious injury and fatal crashes. With the goal of zero fatal crashes on time.
awesome. I'll turn over to.
Yeah, so you've said now a few times that term, county maintained roadway.
Right.
You know, and I understand, the history of the townships and unincorporated area and, there's all this. When community members have expressed concerns about roads, sidewalks, all those things, to me, there's always that confusion of, is this county or is it city, and whose responsibility is that? So I guess, is there a clear way for people to be able to know, or for us to be able to tell community members which is county, which is city? And then also, how do we strengthen kind of the seamlessness of, because people driving down Broad Street don't care if it's county or city, they just want to get to the store.
Right.
Right, so.
Yeah. Right, no, I understand that. The best way to tell is, the county engineer's office, produces a map. And those maps are free, and we try to put them, hopefully there's some here at the library, if there's not, make sure there are. But if you look on the map, you can see exactly they're symbolized based on who maintains the roadway. And so if it's our roadway, it's a dark black line. And if it's Columbus roadway, it's like a gray line. And so you can easily see, just looking at a map, who maintains the roadways. That's usually the best way to do it. This QR code, or that link, will take you to a map, and it's very clear on that map who maintains the roadway, but obviously that's a temporary map to collect feedback, and it will not always be available. But I would say using the county map is the best way to do it. Annexation happens continuously, so the roadways that we maintain are constantly changing. The number of traffic signals that I maintain change all the time. The best way to do it is look at that map. We update it every 3 years. We just updated it with the new county engineer, Adam Fowler. So that one is the newest one that we have. But yeah, that's the best way to do it. And unfortunately, I do a lot of multi-jurisdictional projects, but our goal is to make sure the roads we maintain have all the amenities needed for all road users. So I really focus my efforts on my roads because I can control them. If I'm working on a multi-jurisdictional project that includes Columbus or other jurisdictions, I don't control that as much because it's really their priorities versus my priorities. But if it's my roadway, obviously my priority, I get to control the project and make sure it looks the way I want it to look. We work on reducing speed limits. We work on, like I said, building out infrastructure on our roadways, and we can control the ones that are our roadways. So that this project just includes our roadways. We don't want to identify a bunch of hotspots that are in Columbus that we can't really do anything about. So
Thank you.
and they're doing similar efforts within the city.
Commissioner Maddox?
You mentioned road diets a couple times. Is that a new theme in the area that we're trying to do? I'm thinking, if I want to get from the west side to Easton, I used to be able to do that in 20 minutes. No problem. It now is going to take me a half hour, 45 minutes easily. There's instructions, so more people is what it is. But I'm hearing the term road diet, and that to me means less roadway, which means more people on smaller roadways, which means more backups, which means more frustrations, Which
Yeah.
means as soon as I'm out of that frustrating area, I'm hammering down because I gotta get where I go. So now I'm gonna drive faster. Now, that being said, there are studies that speed in and of itself is not the contributing factor. It's people not knowing how to actively participate in the roadways. You don't use a turn signal, could cause an accident, kind of a deal. Not necessarily the speed, it was the fact that you shouldn't have been in that lane to begin. So there's a lot of different things there, but this road, is this like a common theme now that that's kind of the main goal is to reduce lanes because less lanes means less potential for issues. If I don't have a pool in my backyard, I can't drown in my backyard. So I've just reduced the ability to drown in my backyard by 100%. So see what I'm saying? Like it seems like that's the instant answer is let's remove lanes, constrict things. People will slow down because they have to.
Yeah,
But it
no.
doesn't resolve necessarily the issue because now I'm gonna go drive like an idiot as soon as I'm out of there.
Right, I understand your concern. Unfortunately, we're stuck with roadways that were over-designed. They have too many lanes to begin with. The lanes aren't needed 95% of the day. And because of that, people are driving too fast. And I understand that speed isn't the only factor in a crash, but it's very clear when looking at crash data that the faster the car is going, the more likely a serious injury or fatal crash will occur. And so slowing speeds down, getting people to drive the posted speed limit is one of our goals through this effort. And the safe systems approach, the safe speeds it's one of the pillars of that approach. And one of the countermeasures we have, it's a tool in the toolbox. I would not say that we're looking to do road diets on every single road, but when I look at Fisher Road west of Hay, it has about 17,000 vehicles per day, and it doesn't need to be 4 lanes wide. If you drive on it most of the time, those are unused lanes, and that excess capacity turns into higher speeds. And so it's been shown that being able to repurpose the lanes, adding a center turn lane where there is no center turn lane now, it will improve the safety along the road for left turning vehicles. Vehicles will be driving slower, and that will, when crashes do occur, they'll be less likely to be fatal or serious injury. So I won't say that we're looking at every road to do a road diet, but if the road has excess capacity and it's not needed, we're trying to remove them.
Having done a various amount of research into this, there are roadways without speed limits, very safe roadways. Reasoning for that roadway being very safe is because drivers are required to follow rules specifically. Today, I see no turn signals. It would be awesome if people use turn signals. If they're in the lanes that they're supposed to be in, these kind of things help consistency. And consistency means I know what's going to happen on the roadway. I know what that person's going to do, this person's going to do. And that helps keep everybody safe on the roadway itself, as well as people on the roadways. So I would encourage active looking into those kind of solutions as well. How can we get folks to learn how to utilize the roadways properly? Signage, where you're supposed to be, what lanes you're allowed to be in, those kind of things, when you're supposed to be in those kind of lanes, may help as well. And encouraging law enforcement to actively participate in stopping people from and not using turn signal, for example, or any of these things is.
Again, I think the safe systems approach is based on the fact that people will make mistakes, people won't use turn signals, people will drive off the road, random places. So basically, you're trying to build a system that is going to accommodate the people that don't want to follow the rules. And the way we do that is slower speed. So when they do crash, there's less likely there's going to be an injury or a fatal crash. That's kind of the idea behind it. I wish I could get people to stop running red lights. I wish I could get people to stop speeding. There's really no way to do it. There's only so many vehicles or so many law enforcement officers, and they're busy doing other things. I have traffic signals where I see constant red light running, and I have a hard time getting anybody to pay attention to it. So if I can slow cars down a little bit, then when they do crash, there's less likely it's going to be serious injury or fatal crash. So that's kind of where we're at with the transportation network that we have. And that's the whole idea behind the safe systems approach. putting up a slower speed limit's not gonna work because people aren't gonna drive the speed limit that they feel comfortable driving. I could post, a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit on Fisher Road, people are gonna drive 35, 40, 50, whatever they feel like driving. But if they have less lanes, and there's a set two-way left turn lane, you're gonna have slower speeds. And, that's, like I said, it's one of the tools that are, so.
Any other questions from commissioners?
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner.
Just very briefly, I heard you mention the municipal efforts with Vision Zero. Can you talk? If there's been any coordination right now with the Vision Zero things happening in the city of Columbus and how you might be approaching places where, like you said, like the gap analysis, where an intersection might butt up against your jurisdiction or vice versa, how you might approach that as well.
Yeah, we work closely with Columbus. They're a little ahead of us. They did their Vision Zero plan a few years ago. But we do a fatal crash report review. So whenever there's a crash report that happens in Franklin County, we meet, whether it's a crash happened in Columbus or on our roadways. And we try to combine efforts and assist each other where we can. We've done projects that include their jurisdiction. I can't think of one in this area. On the east side, we're working on Cassidy Road or Cassidy Avenue. And so Cassidy is a long section of that is City of Columbus, but we're improving the entire corridor with sidewalks, shared use path, and narrowing the lanes. We're not reducing any lanes, but we are making them narrower. In projects like that, we're working with the city to improve a roadway that we both share. So, perfect.
Any other questions from commissioners?
I do have one follow-up question, as it relates to Fisher and Hague. You mentioned that you guys are, I think, starting a project to do the road diet, implement sidewalks. Is that still in like the planning stage, or is that like?
It's under design,
Okay.
and it's Fisher Road, west of Hague. At the intersection of Fisher and Hague, we are applying for funding to possibly do a roundabout at that intersection. It continues to be, one of our worst performing intersections, as far as crashes.
I know.
Southbound left turning vehicles conflict with northbound through. Whether that's the left turn not having sufficient gap, or if that's the through movement running a red light, probably both. I think that particular intersection struggles, and no matter what we do to that traffic signal, we're gonna continue to have that angle crash, which is what causes the injuries and the fatal crashes. So the idea of roundabout, all the vehicles are kind of pointed the same direction as they enter. That takes that angle away. You have side swipes, you have fender benders, but you don't have the angle crash that produces the injury. So the idea there would be to fit something like that in there. That's not funded yet, but it will be one of our future applications. It will be probably, we'll apply for the funding before this plan's even complete. So we're planning on applying for it next round. Doesn't mean it's necessarily gonna get funded, but if it does, that usually means 3 to 4 years out, it would start construction.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I just asked because of the lack of sidewalks on Wilson. So I mean, if you're trying to connect Valley View or even that community along Fisher, or just trying to partner with the city of Columbus to get a sidewalk along Wilson would go a long way.
Yeah.
Mainly because that's the closest area grocery store is the Kroger
Right.
off of Wilson, and that section is maintained by the city of Columbus, but
Yeah.
I would highly recommend reaching out to them saying, hey, this is the project we're doing on Fisher. It'd be great to come connect these two, because essentially you're just connecting Fisher and from Hague to Wilson.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, where else does it really actually need to connect to?
Right, yeah,
And the
no,
big
and I
one being
understand
the
that,
Kroger.
and that's just because that's where our roadway stops is at
Yep.
Wilson, and it's their traffic signal there at Fisher and Wilson, and then, I can't speak to what their future plans are for Wilson. I know that they plan on, using the Link Us funding that I mentioned before, to build a shared use path along Wilson. Wilson definitely needs it. There's a very, defined goat path that runs along that roadway. I've tried to ride a bike on that roadway before and then run off the road. So it is a difficult roadway, to navigate. So I know that they plan on, like I said, using the Link Us funding. That Link Us funding is gonna be huge for us because it provides a funding source that we never had before for shared use paths and sidewalks. And it's not federal funding, which is nice because you can spend it a lot faster. So instead of waiting 3 or 4 years for a project, you're waiting 2 or 3, so.
Are there any questions from the community members?
And just to be clear, on that interactive map, is it the roads that are colored like red? Is that the county line, county roads? Or, I just want to make sure I know.
I'm guessing the ones that are red maybe are on the high injury network.
Okay, I just trying to figure out, how do I know if, like, for example, I have a concern about Valley View and Hay. How would I look on this map and know if that's county road or not? So all I see on here on the map is just red lines on some roads.
So the Franklin County, or Franklin County Engineers Office, the map that they have posted for 25, I think through 27, you zoom in, they're solid black lines.
I'm just
So
doing
like
like an interactive map on their website, it just has.
Is that through this project?
Yeah.
So if you go back a tab, I don't think they said they have the map up there yet.
Okay, I just
Or at
want to give, I don't want to give input for something.
Yeah, it's these red ones.
Yeah, those red ones are all,
Those are for sure what they maintain and operate.
absolutely.
All right,
Yes.
I just wanted, I didn't want to.
No, good point. So
It's like they do not maintain that.
I appreciate that. So yes, all the red ones are not necessarily a high injury network. All the red ones are our roadways that are, so there's 260 miles of roadways that we maintain within the county, and they show up as red on that map.
The dots of intersections.
That's what.
To help
I
identify.
know.
And that you can zoom in as close as you want.
Oh,
on
yeah,
that.
it's just, so my concern is not as a city road thing, not a county road.
Yeah, Valley View and Hay is, I think that's the village of Valley View that maintains that traffic.
Are there any other questions? Awesome. Again, I highly recommend the co-chairs of public safety and planning economic development just connect, see which one of you guys really want to take up the initiative of staying on top of this. It sounds like the more we get in community feedback of the roads that we can comment on, it'll go a long way with what they're trying to do, what we want as a community as a goal to improve, you know, the safety concerns that we have. So again, thank you so much for coming out. I look forward to seeing your guys' report.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
All right, jump back in to our agenda for tonight. I did see that Danny Peterson did you have any updates from Top Rise or anything you want to comment on? I appreciate it. All right, moving on to reports of officers, starting with myself, chairperson for the Greater Hilltop Area Commission. I do want to make a comment on some misinformation that keeps being posted on the internet. You know, the internet's full of half-truths and a lot of lies. So again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about where committee meetings are taking place, please go to our website, look up committee meeting information such as locations, times, and dates. As of today, none of our committee meetings have been meeting anywhere else other than the library. Regardless of where meetings do take place, they're always going to be posted on our Facebook page, on our website. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns as it relates to committee meeting locations, I highly recommend going there, as that's where all of our information is going to be posted. Moving on to vice chair, I know Ashley Montana has resigned, but since our last meeting, do you have any updates? Nope. All right, moving on to Commissioner Argero, our secretary. Do you have anything to report?
Yes, just that, we do have one commissioner with 3 absences in their previous 12 meetings. They will be notified. They actually have already been notified, but we will be officially, following today. And we have 2 commissioners with 2 absences apiece, myself and Brandon Marcus. Okay.
All right, moving on to reports of committees. I'm going to start with our zoning chair, Commissioner Nick Bates.
Thank you, Chair. We have one zoning application this evening, BZA.
Do we have a treasurer's report from?
Oh,
Sorry. Oh, yeah, I didn't think we did, so I'm sorry,
Great, thank you.
We have one zoning application this evening for 267 Lechner Avenue, BZA 25-107. This is a variance, as they rebuild a house, a single-story dwelling, on the property to, have a driveway, built on that lot, which would then be within the, 10 feet, right-of-way line of the neighboring properties. Would the applicant like to come forward to, talk about the application and answer questions of the committee?
Matt Habermill with Habcon Builders, requesting the variance here. It's a basic single-story build. It's pretty consistent with all the other houses in the neighborhood, specifically the one there on the left that you'll see just south of it. The driveway, ultimately what our goal is to have a house that has a garage so that we can have the security of pulling in the garage, closing the door and being able to get in and out, without having to walk from the street. And right now, as it's proposed, the only way to meet all of the other zoning requirements for the build that we're proposing is to have the driveway encroach upon the 10-foot line from the sidewalk. As far as the driveway itself, the driveway won't be in the way. It's consistent with all the other driveways and the cars that you see next door, neighboring properties and across the street. But ultimately it will be on top of that line, which is what we're requesting in the support.
Thank you. The committee, the zoning committee, when we met, did vote to approve this, application for this variance. And for those who might be looking at the property next to it and saying, wait a second, 10 feet from the property line, that driveway is definitely within 10 feet. What ends up happening, quite a bit with houses in the hilltop and different properties is, a property was built, driveways were put in, and then the zoning codes were written. So then everybody who was built before that are kind of grandfathered in and acceptable, but then if you need a rebuild, a remodel, or those sorts of things, then that's why we often have, property developers and homeowners and folks coming in asking for these variances, on these things, because the zoning codes have been updated, over the past 75 years, and as we all know, many of the houses in the hilltop are more than 75 years old. Do we have any questions from commissioners? Carla?
Just if you, oh, I'm sorry. No. You had your hand.
Would it be, maybe I'm not completely understanding, but would the driveway essentially be just like the one?
Yeah, if you see that driveway, the one that you're staring at, that silver car, ours will effectively end into the face of the house where we'll have the garage. So it'll be in the exact same location as that driveway. It just won't run all the way alongside the house. It'll end at the front of the house where it goes inside the garage there.
Absolutely, thank you.
But it'll be on that same location of the property.
It would just run sort of just parallel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And have you spoken to the homeowners or the people who live on either side? Do they have any objections?
So far, we have not. No, we've given all their information to, I believe, Nick and the zoning as well. No one's reached out or raised any concerns about it.
You provided some drawings at the committee, right? The sewer drawings, are those available?
Yes, I believe you have those, Nick.
Did I have those?
Oh, it'd just be helpful to see it.
Were they in the application, Josh? You remember?
Okay. We'll find out together.
I remember which is extra attachments, just where it's in application. Yeah.
So where you see that car inside the garage there, if you scroll up right there, the driveway will obviously extend out from there. So that's like you were seeing the house next door, Carla, but this one will have the house and the garage as opposed to just the open driveway all the way to the backyard.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have any questions or concerns or comments from the community? Any final questions or comments from commissioners? At this time, I would like to move that we approve application BZA 25-107 for 267 Lechner Avenue, for the variance, related to the driveway.
Second.
Second.
Okay, I will start with myself and then we'll go around the room to my left. Ardro is in favor and Commissioner. Erica,
Yes.
looking at my name. And Commissioner Bacon,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Commissioner Kitchen,
Yes.
Commissioner Kepler,
Yes.
and Commissioner Bacon.
Yes.
Commissioner Mateen,
Yes.
and Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner McKee,
Yes.
Commissioner Maddox,
Yes.
Commissioner Amin,
Yes.
and Commissioner Martin.
Yes.
None opposed, none abstaining, result is 14 in favor. Right, there's 14. 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8. 13. Thank you. That's right, we're missing 2.
Thank you so much. I'll send the standard recommendation form down to the city and you'll get a copy of that as well. And then the city will follow up on final steps for you.
Also.
Great, thanks so much.
For your consideration and recommendation.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. At our next zoning committee, we actually have quite a few applications that will be coming forward to us, and these are available in our shared Google Drive. We have 2 demolition permit notifications, one for 3539 Climb Road, one for 949 South Harris Avenue. And then we also will be revisiting an application for 3500 West Broad Street. Their staff review, that's the old PNC building that's to become Westgate Pets that we approved last month. They need some additional variances for the screening or the plants and walls and stuff along the street. We also have new applications for 2725 West Broad Street, 1813 Hollow Run Drive, and 56 North Oakley Avenue. And we will be meeting on, oh great, got the updated date, 11/20 at 7:30 PM here at the Hilltop Library. We did move it away from our traditional 4th Wednesday because ain't nobody want to be in a zoning meeting the night before Thanksgiving. We all got cooking to do. I also did want to mention that the application that we heard last month for Briggs Road, the senior assisted living facility, is scheduled to go before city council on Monday at 6:30 PM. They do accept up to 3 people in favor and 3 people in opposition to that. So obviously there aren't as many people here tonight, but I know many people hopefully are tuning in online who have questions and concerns about that project, do have that opportunity to engage with city council, and they can feel free to reach out to me via my email address to get more information on that.
Now, is that for the senior living facility on Briggs or?
Yes, yeah, the Briggs Road Senior Living that needed variances for their number of parking spots and for their height. End of report.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna move on to community relations, co-chair Commissioner Maddox and.
We did not. No, we did.
We met, but
It
we
wasn't an
just the two of
official,
us.
yeah, it wasn't an official meeting because there wasn't one. So we're not official, meeting, we were in present. And the next committee meetings, we're gonna be close to Thanksgiving and we don't have much to talk about, so we're gonna reconvene in January. Too many holidays coming up.
Gotcha, okay, government legislation, I also was not there, I wasn't even in this state. But anyways, I do have to go through my notes, I know there were some, action items brought up by other commissioners, that, were mentioned at the last committee meeting in January.
So TBD on a date, but we also will not be meeting this month. But please check our socials and our Facebook and the website. We will be having a meeting in December. Moving on to Human Service and Education, Commissioner Joe Ardra.
And thank you. I was out of town for our last scheduled meeting, so we did also not meet in October. We will be meeting the 19th, next Wednesday at 6 p.m. here at the library. And I want to mention also that Columbus Stand Up, which is a community organizing group, is convening. They're organizing for what they're calling Lights Out AEP. And so I've been listening to this a bit and deciding if I/the committee are interested in being involved. You can just search Lights Out AEP Columbus and you'll be able to find more information on that. But so that's something we'll talk about coming up on the 19th, to potentially be involved in a community canvassing on Sunday, November 30th. So there will be information coming out again, the 19th at 6 p.m. here at the building.
Liquor permit review, Commissioner Damping.
Good evening. We had a very brief meeting on October 22nd here at the library. There were two commissioners from the committee present. We reviewed, one of the things the committee's been doing is reviewing from the Ohio Department of Commerce all the liquor permits that are being granted or denied or transferred or whatever in the greater Hilltop area. So the Ohio Department of Commerce has redesigned their website. They're using a Power BI platform now, and I think it's really exciting to see that innovation. But the way that I was pulling that information is not the same. So a little bit of a learning curve coming up. I think it's going to give us the opportunity to be a lot more granular and a lot more specific about the times that permits are actually active. So that is going to be what we'd like to focus on between now and the next meeting, which I'm going to propose would be right after the zoning committee meeting here at the library on November 20th, 2025, immediately following. Every liquor permit in Franklin County needs to be renewed in February. So the city typically, if they have any objections or input to the state about whether or not they would like to say that a permit not be reviewed, the window of doing that, I understand, is just about November-ish. So I'm going to reach out to one of the zone attorneys and just see if there's any objections to any permits are going to happen potentially before February. That's my report.
Thank you.
Planning, Economic and Development, Co-Chair Smith and Montana.
We did not meet in October. We are planning to meet in November on the 20th at 6 p.m. So we'll be meeting right before zoning. And we are not planning to meet in December. For the November meeting, we are going to continue the conversation of printing the Hilltop USA homes.
Oh, the Hilltop USA History and Homes Manual.
That's what it's called. Cool. Thank you.
All right, moving on to Public Safety, Co-Chair Fagan and Colin.
We had met last on the 17th of September. We had a good conversation about some traffic issues, big routes to school. We had the county in, and they had given a presentation. There were some police officers there and some people from 311 there. We will not be meeting in December. It'll be fairly close to Christmas, so we're gonna just take the day off. Oh, well, we meet every other month, so I'm sorry. We normally meet every other month, so December would be our next time normally to meet, but it's gonna be close to Christmas.
All right, last but not least, Recreation and Parks, we did meet in October. It was just myself and Commissioner Ardro. We did have a discussion about the parks that we did audit this year. I'm still working on finalizing those reports. We will be meeting here at the library this Saturday at 9 a.m. to kind of go over those park audits that we completed for 2025, as well as revisiting the parks that we're gonna be going out viewing next year in 2026. Again, those lists of parks that we did touch on this year and we'll be touching on next year are in our Google Drive. There's also a photo on our Facebook page of all the parks that we've gone to this year, and I look forward to then having a great conversation with the city on what our game plan and expectations are for 2026. Since the recent Rexton Park levy did pass. So hopefully we can tap into some of that funding and get allocated here into the Hilltop. Moving on to unfinished business, we have 3 vacant residential seats whose terms start in 2026 and expire in 2029. I'm gonna open up the floor to commissioners for nominations. Does anybody have a nomination?
I do.
Commissioner Kepler.
I would like to nominate Ray Valentine. Are you in the back? Come on up. Ray is an almost lifelong West Sider, right?
Yeah.
And business owner, good friend of mine also, and you could speak for yourself.
So I've been on the west side since I was 6, graduated West High School. Have a flower shop over in Southwest Square Shopping Center. Family's all been born and raised here. And I would like to do something that I can give back to my community. I'd like to be part of the group.
Thank you.
Are there any other commissioners that would like to, so there are 3 open seats, so we're starting one at a time. Somebody, yes, Commissioner Carr.
I'd like to nominate Tristan Klingo. Some of you may know him, from North Hilltop Neighborhood Association. He and his wife Leanne have lived over here for 8 years. And maybe I'll let him also, introduce himself.
I've lived, like I said, here for 8 years. I am part of the North Hilltop Neighborhood Association. I'm actually the Traffic Safety Chair for this association. I am, I'm a diehard Columbus Crew season ticket holder in the Rockies, Nordeca. And I just, help maybe, be heavily more involved in the Hilltop outside of the North Hilltop.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations?
I would like to nominate, current Commissioner Ronna McKee. She's been on the commission, but her term is expiring, so I'm nominating her for another term.
You want to? You don't have to. Well, you should.
Well, I'm Ronette McKee, serving as a commissioner. I previously took a, previous commissioner spot. It's only been about 6-7 months. Haven't really had enough time to kind of get a swing of things, so I would like to maybe run again to possibly, try to do more work and, lead and just kind of expand a little bit more and a little bit more time to do more work.
And Commissioner McKee is a business owner, small business owner, and also a community health worker. And a family ambassador.
Yeah.
Anybody else? So everybody who's been nominated except. We'll have to, yes, okay, awesome. So, procedurally, this whole BC, since there are 3 seats, we have 3 nominations. Do we still have to vote on them individually? Or can we say, hey, collectively as a group,
We can vote as a group.
Yeah.
Although for, the vacant seat, this is starting January, right?
Yes, January 26th. So again, these are the ones that we would have elected last month. Okay, so just procedurally, I'm gonna go through one of them each individually, because there are 3 separate seats, so there's no confusion, city, community wide. So we're just gonna go off in order with Ray Valentine. Again, this is for a 3-year term that starts in January 2026. Do you guys want to do a roll call, or do you want to just do the yays and nays?
Yays and nays. The voice.
All right, so this person was nominated by Jenny Keplar. He does accept. All those in favor.
Got a motion at first.
Oh, we got a motion.
I move that we accept Ray Valentine as a new commissioner to one of the appointed seats.
Who seconds? I can second.
Seconded by Carl. All right, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Awesome. Congratulations, Ray. You have been nominated for your vacancy. All right, I'm sorry, Tricia, what was your last name? Klingo. Okay, this individual was nominated by Carla Carr. I'd like to motion that we accept Tristan's appointment to the vacant seat. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Kepler. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstains? All right, awesome. Congratulations. All right, last but not least, we have a nomination of Renette McKee by Ashley Montana. I'm gonna make the motion that we accept McKee's appointment to the vacant seat. Can I get a second?
Second.
Oh, it's a tie. I have to rock paper scissors. All right, all those in favor of accepting McKee's appointment to the vacant seat, say aye. Any opposed? Any abstains? Congratulations. Awesome, that was easy, swift, and we weren't here for 45 minutes. Our next new item for new business is gonna be, the vacant chair position. This person, will be, filling a spot that's been vacated by Ashley Montana. She recently accepted a position and they're strong hiring her to give up her chair position. Her vice chair. But this person will need to run the meeting in January, as I will not be here. I will be creating the agenda. It's for 2 months, so December and January. You only have to deal with me for a month. And I swear super helpful, and nice behind closed doors. So does anybody interested in being vice chair for 2 months?
Yeah, I guess you're only committed to 2 months. The overview of duties, since people have asked, so you'll get included on a lot of emails with the chair. And you'll need to talk with the chair about how to respond to those. I have been helping Joe with the minutes, but I don't think that falls in the purview of vice chair unless you want it to. I'm happy to continue to help the secretary. So it's really what you make it, but you are gonna run the January meeting, wherever you are.
I swear it's not as scary as it seems.
Yes, and Old BC will always provide guidance.
Somebody has an.
Zoning continuing. I nominate Nick Bates.
You know what happened?
Nick Bates,
Then we'll-
any interest?
Sure,
Okay.
unless somebody else wants it. I'm fine if someone else wants it, but I'll do it.
Okay.
I nominate Commissioner Bates to be vice chair for 2 months.
All these.
Sorry, I don't have your bylaws in front of me.
Uh-oh.
Just wanted to clarify whether it's okay, since technically it's part of like the. Basically, can he hold to executive positions?
We talked about this previously, and there have been vice chairs that have also been zoning chairs. in the
As a matter of
past.
fact, it was like rule of thumb for years that the vice chair was also the zoning chair.
Okay, cool, just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of my thing was, as we think about for next year, even like zoning chair, you got the 4 executive positions and then zoning chair is kind of like probably the next volume before. So, but yeah, no, I accept.
Okay, so the motion is Ashley Montana nominates Nick Bates to the role of vice chair. He has accepted. Is there a second?
Second.
I kept beat you by. You won't have to answer. No? Okay. All right, we'll just go ahead and do, do you want to do a roll vote, voice? Real awesome. Okay, we're gonna do a roll call vote for the filling of the vice chair position. Joe, whenever you're ready.
Well, I mean, just that, if we have to do that.
She called it. I've already spoken into existence.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, again, this time I'll just start with myself and move to the right around the table.
So now we're
Roberto is in favor. Thanks, man, for volunteering. All told him. Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Me,
Yes.
Commissioner Maddox,
Yeah.
Commissioner McKee,
Yeah.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Mateen,
Oh, yes.
Commissioner Bates.
Yeah.
You can abstain, Commissioner Kevin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kitchen,
Yes.
Commissioner Farr,
Yes, thank you, Nick.
and Commissioner Vega.
Thank you. Yes.
It's
Awesome, Bates has been sacrificed, so now we don't have anything else on the agenda. Commissioners, was there anything that I missed that would you need to discuss? It's too early. It's only 7:30.
That's things I can do.
I don't know, Miss Old EC, came a little late. Did you have anything you want to announce or speak into the worship? You got 2 minutes.
Robert's rules, just minutes.
Hi, good evening, commissioners. I apologize for my tardiness. Full of double duty tonight with Franklinton and Hilltop, but I'm glad to be here.
Got the worst out of the way first.
Don't say that. I love my Franklinton gifts too.
But we know what we're your favorite.
But I just have a couple of events I wanted to remind you of that are coming up. The mayor's neighborhood leaders dinner is tomorrow from 5 to 7 at the Fran Ryan Center. If you haven't already had an opportunity to RSVP, there still are some spots available. It's a great opportunity for you to connect directly with not only with the mayor's team, but also with directors from each of the divisions. So if you have an opportunity, if you're available tomorrow, we'd love to see you there. There will be a full catered meal and it won't last too long. And if you get there early, they have a really cool gift shop. I know it's holiday season, great opportunity to get some Christmas shopping out the way. So just putting that out there. And also the Fair Housing Workshop hosted by the City of Columbus in partnership with the Neighborhood Design Center is happening on November 18th. It'll be here from 5:30 to 7:30. Great opportunity for you to express your thoughts and your perspectives as community leaders on like what are the barriers to accessing affordable housing here in the City of Columbus. So that's upcoming. And then also want to remind you, please spend your money. Please spend your money. We even removed barriers. You guys can spend it on food now. So please, I know, look, April is gonna come and be here before we know it. So I just want to put that seed out there, plant that seed, please spend your money.
We do need batteries.
Need batteries?
Yeah.
We not get those from the city for free? Good.
Nah, you gotta run on those on
All right, there was a motion to adjourn the meeting, so do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, all those, any opposed? Same. All right,
Second.
next meeting will be December 2nd. December 2nd, here at the library at 6:30. Look forward to seeing everybody there. And again, congratulations to everybody who was appointed to the vacancy.